Welcome to Racsinfotech, guys. It's In this video I'm going to show you part 2 Oracle 19c database installation for standby server configuration. Okay, Oracle 19c database installation. Instead of this, we can do part 2 configure Oracle data GU on data guard standby server. Okay, data guard standby server, we are going to build it. It's not the database software and some other, even though it is a server, but it's a part 2 we can make in this way. Okay, go to our part 1 video. There I have shown you how to configure our primary server. Okay, this primary server is up and running now. We are going to configure the standby server. If you want to build the standby server, we need to have the same directory structure. Whatever we are having in our primary, we need to have the same. So create directories as it is or similar or same as primary server, where your database software unzipped, where is your Oracle home in primary, same, you can do the same thing. Okay, inventory location, everything you can keep the same thing. Done. So we have already created, and the software unzip, we need to do it, right? So go to this location and standby server. We don't have any software here. For that, I have the commands here. Let me take quickly. On primary side, this location I have 19c software which I used for my primary configuration. Go to this location and use unzip command. Okay, same, this is software 19c1. Use the unzip command. So I'm going to use this. Let me take a snap of this thing, all of these things. Okay, it is used here. Also we need to do the prerequisites, whatever the RPMs which we installed as part of our primary, right? You can go through the starting of this video. Let me write it here. Okay, here I'll write it. Install the RPMs for 19c database. Check above or else I'll give you the commands here, and because we need to give copy paste things not required. All these things we need to do. Disable the firewall things and all. Okay, leave it. Let me write it. 19c database, disable firewall and disable the SC Linux configuration. Check above for these commands. Done. Now what we need to do, we can unzip the software and then software requirements, right? That let it unzip it. Okay, it will take 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. I'll show you this thing. Let me take a duplicate session and I'll show you the RPMs, right? Yum list Oracle star. It will show you all the RPMs whichever it is required for your database thing. This package we need to install. Okay, this package we need to install for 19. So if you are going with a different operating system, you can go with the different packages. Okay, let me give you the simple thing. Okay, and as far as system CTL stop or disable firewall D. Okay, to stop the firewall thing. And what else? That's it, nothing much. Selenium, right? You can go to cat etc sc linux config location. Here you can do disable the Selenium Linux thing. So you can go through above snaps, or else here also we can get it cat etc sc linux, sorry, config. This we need to do, disable from this location. Okay, I'll give this option. And firewall we already stopped. Let me show you that as well. systemctl disable firewall services. If you want to firewall D also you can give dot C services also if you can give, that's okay, no problem. Status it is disabled. Done. Okay. And what else we need to do? The software unzip is done. Then we need to change the permissions to that software, right? Standby server will only software we are going to install on this server. We are not going to do. Yeah. Unzip is completed. Now what we need to do? Ch own and ch mod. What it does is it is going to change the privileges of your software which you have unzipped. This one, all Oracle software. So if you want to install this standby server, I mean, if you want to install Oracle 19c database on this, not only this standby, any server, you have to connect with a different user, not from the root user. So we have connected to Oracle user here. Okay, bash. Go to Oracle home location, U01 app, Oracle product. This is my database software location. Here you can use run installer to install your database software. Only database software we need to install on the standby server. Okay. But on primary, we have the database that we can use it. Only software. Let me keep like this. And we can take the snapshot. Okay. We don't need to give all this new snippet. We don't need to give all these things, right? Again and again. You can go through our first primary video or there you can get all these things. Okay, CD U01 app Oracle product 19.0.0 db underscore home in this location, run installer. You will get this. That's it. Okay. Here, I'm not going to take a snapshot. Click next, single instance, enterprise edition, base location only. Change my group. Let me make it middle. Go install to all the groups. Click next. These scripts you can run automatically. If you want to check, that will run automatically else. Yeah. If you want to install silent mode, instead, this is the GUI mode, whatever you are going to see it. If you want to install in silent mode, save this response file. For next time, you can use that response file. Okay. Run installer space, give the location of the response file that will install in the command line. Actually, that is quicker compared to this clicking on the next and all. It is time taking process. That the silent method, it will be quicker, but this is a flexible one compared to that. We can see it what is going on and how much percentage it's complete. Even there also we can see the percentage and all. Those environments, they are not enabled this GUI related prompts and all. At that time they don't have any other option. They can go with the silent method. But some environments we will get these GUI pages so that we can go with GUI method. Okay. Installation part, it won't take much time. It may like 1 to 2 minutes. It may not take much. Okay. This script we need to run it from the root user. Okay. This we already connected to the root. On standby server C, standby server, copy this root.sh script, and it is going to store all this owner, who is the owner to install the software, Oracle. And it is going to update env, env, all the environment things. That's it. So our this thing is completed. I will take this snapshot. Okay, this is click OK, and this we need to take snapshot. Let me take it. Done. Okay. Standby server server installation completed. Now we are going to do the important, whatever we are going to, our main purpose is to configure your data guard. Okay, physical standby we need to build. That is the part 3 where we are going to do this part 3. Okay. Let me make it here. This ends, here ends the part 2. Now part 3 we are going to make it. Let me make it bold. Yes. So in this part 3, we can conclude in this video only. So because it won't take much time. Uh, So data guard configuration, both primary and physical standby configuration, right? So this configuration, if you want to enable the data guard, okay, redo transport, we need to enable on the primary side, and then we need to create the physical standby server using this primary server backup. Okay, those we are going to see it. So primary side, what are the steps we want to do it? I'll show you those first. Let me take this. Okay, so connected to the primary server. This is our standby server where we have installed the database software that is done. So here, let me close, then it is going to complete. Okay, just a software installation. We haven't done anything. Okay, here we don't have any database services also. Okay, nothing. Only software install on the standby server. Keep it this here. This is our primary, whatever green color is there. This is our primary database is running on this part. So if you want to configure the data guard, prerequisites are we need to enable the database in archive log mode, force logging should be enabled, and then flashback needs to be enabled. Flashback, we can do it now or later also, that's fine. We can, this is the important thing. So we need to check this first. Connected to SQL plus as says DBA. Environment is not set or env. SIDs are prod. Done. Now we can connect it to SQL prod and check the status. Set lines 200 and open mode. Okay. Force logging, this much is not required. Call format A 10. Now check the query. So force logging is not enabled. Okay, and the log archive mode is not started, and the flashback, if anything required, like while you're doing this data guard concept, something goes wrong, if you want to recover or else what I can say rollback, flashback needs to be on. Okay, and archive log mode, it is mandatory. Without these all parameters are, I mean, force logging and log archive log mode is mandatory. Without this we cannot do this data guard configuration. Okay, so if you want to enable this archive log mode, database needs to be in mount mode. So let me enable it. Shut immediate or shut abort, shut immediate, anything you can use it. Shut or shut down, it's equal. So let me take the snapshot. I want to take a command also, right? Yes, it is. And yes, prerequisites, prerequisites to enable the data is archive log, CHIV, archive log mode should be enabled. What is this? Enable flashback. Let me copy this. Enable the force logging mode. Okay, we have another video. All these things I have discussed in that video. Why we need to enable the force logging, what will happen. Okay, these three parameters we need to do it. That we are going to see it. Come on, where is this? Okay, where is the cursor? Okay, let me take the snap again. It will be huge because we are taking more snapshots. Okay. It will be huge. That's okay. So this part is completed now. I need to start up mount. And if you want to enable the archive mode, use alter database archive log. Okay. Ar archive chiv log list. See, it is not enabled, it's disabled. So if you want to enable alter database archive log. Now check again archive log, list command, archive log mode is enabled. Okay, cool. Let me take a snap and we'll post it there. And what else? Let me take one more. Alter database open. That flashback enable and force logging, we can do it when your database is open mode. Okay, those we can do it when your database is open mode also. There is no restrictions for that. Then next. So force logging, we need to enable it, right? And yeah, this is done. Shut down immediate thing, startup mode. That is different thing. Alter database archive. So if you want to do this force logging, do this command. Come on. Force logging is enabled. Then flashback. If you want to do this flashback thing, you have to set these two parameters. Okay. These two I can make it as a 15 gig scope equal to both and U0 backup. This make sure you should have this directory. Okay. You should have physical directory. And then if you want to do this flashback enable, we have to define the DB recovery destinations. Okay. Else it won't, we cannot enable the flashback. That is mandatory step. Okay. Let it be enable the flashback on. Go to this. Done. Now you can check the query what we have executed earlier. Set I use the same session. I don't know get. Yes, clear. Now we did this till alter database open and then continuation. We did. These are all the prerequisites. So prerequisites are completed on primary site. These are prerequisites. Now actual steps which we are going to. Actual data guard configuration steps. Okay, actual data guard configuration steps here. From here, we are going to start it. Generally, every production, it will run on archive log mode. We don't need to go ahead and then shut down these things and all. Okay, this is a production. So production, whatever the steps we are going to do it, everything is online. But as part of our demo, we are going to take a shutdown generally. But whatever the steps as part of the data guard configuration, these are the prerequisite steps. Okay, you can use these steps theoretically also. I'll give you here. Use those steps. Okay. Now, next what? So we need to create this protection mode. Everything is done. You can pause this video and go through this why we need to enable the force logging and primary, and then why we need to mention standby file management auto. Okay, whatever the things, whatever the redos generator, what are the data files, physical data files you are creating on the primary side, you don't need to create on standby side when you make it auto. If you are keep it manual, you have to create both the ways. That is like remain not a repeated work for DBAs. So keep it. This is mandatory parameter. Okay, keep it standby file management auto in our primary server. Primary server. Next step. See here, that is important. Whatever the files we have in primary side, if you are going to drop it, add it on primary, that needs to be done automatically on your standby server. So we need to create standby redo logs. Okay, we are having already redo logs for our primary server because we have a database. As part of our database, redo log files, this redo 1, 2, 3 has been created. But standby server, we don't have a data, I mean, these redo log files, right? As and when this primary is not available, standby act as a primary. At that time, that needs to write reduce, right? Current transactions in that location. For that purpose, we need to create standby redo logs. Okay, standby redo logs. And the formula to create is if you are having three redo logs, primary redo logs for standby, you need to create one extra. You need to create one extra redo log. Redo. Okay, that is the basic thing. And also thread, whatever the thread one you are going to give, same thing, thread one you have to give it. Okay, this is one important thing for our and the size also 200 MB. Our redo logs, whatever the primary redo logs, let me give you the simple example. This is our primary server. We have the database. Okay, in this database we have redo log files. How many redo log files? Three. One, two, three. These will store the current transactions. But we have standby server, right? But here we don't have a database, same database we are using. So if the primary is not available, if the standby needs to act as a primary, right? At that time it required redo logs, right? So standby redo logs, we call it as. These we need to create now as part of where we are going to create on primary side we are creating because here we have a database. Okay, primary side. What is the formula? If you are having three redo log groups, one extra redo log you can create for standby redo logs. It means we need to create four standby redo log groups or files. And the thread one we are going to use for redo logs. Same way for these standby redo logs, use the thread one. And the size of this redo log files, each redo log file is 200 MB. You have to give 200 MB same size to all four, like 4 into 200, like you require 800 MB per four redo log, standby redo log files. Okay, that is the thing which we are going to do it now. So I have paused this video and go through it, a theory part. Okay, I'm not going to do it. This command we can able to check standby redo logs. How many standby redo logs we are having? Okay, we don't have anything because we need to create it. Okay, this $log will give you the primary redo logs, online redo logs. This is standby redo logs. Okay. If you are using MRP, your not the MRP, OMF, Oracle Managed File System, you don't need to mention the path. But if you are using non-MRP, mean manually can manage the file system, we have to give this location. Which location we need to give? You can give the same location, rprod. Okay, take this and the sequence, redo log sequence. Here it is, what is the sequence we are having? Group 1, 2, 3. Okay, redo log 0, 1, 2, 3. You can give 11, 12, 13, 14 or else 21, 22, 23, 24. Different sequence you can give. Later on if you want. Why? Because in future if you want to add one more redo log for primary side, you can use at least the gap, right? Redo 04, redo 05, you can use it. That's where make it a different sequence. So this is the location I want to create for my standby redo log is this and alter database and standby redo log thread 1 where your redo log files is there and the group is 21 and redo log file name also 21 with size 200 MB. Okay, location is good. Vara data are brought. Total 4. I'm going to create it. Okay. Do we have any? Let me remove this. Here we need to give the quotation. Did it took? No. Let me copy to notepad and then we can modify it. In Word, we cannot able to take properly these things. Okay. Let me take it into notepad. See here. It's a proper order. We need to make it. Okay. 4 redo log groups. We are going to create it for standby. Execute it. Done. So let me take this snapshot. Use the same thing. Maximize. Let me go. What happened to this? Give me a second. Okay. Now there is some issue with uploading this. That's okay. I'll take these things into Word. Now onwards, those. I have taken extra pause here. Actual configuration steps, which we are going to do it is these things. You need to create the standby file management, I mean standby redo logs, and we need to convert this thing. Let me take a snap of this and then we can post in that Word. No rows selected. Word, and I'll post later in my blog. Okay. Then creating the standby redo logs. Now we can query it and then we can see that also. We'll take that count. See here, thread 1, group 21, 22, 23 to 24 created and sequence is not started if the archives are. And these things are moving archives. Okay. This will move the archives, not the redos. This will useful for that. Let it be. Okay. Done. So these steps I'll give you here. You can copy paste it later from my this thing. Word, these tabs and this one. In the blog later I can post it. Okay. It is not required. Whether it will take or not, I don't know why. It's going through back. That's okay. Here and there I can manage it because maybe some font or some related issues. Leave it that. I'll make it later. Okay, once that is done, next step is we need to configure the, what is this thing? No rows selected earlier. After we created, it should have some rows. This is the output which we need to check. Done. Next step. So as per this, we have created. Now we need to take a parameter file and other things that we are not going to do it right now because we have some couple of parameters where we need to enable. Okay. DB recovery file destination is done and the recovery FRA, that is for fast recovery area, that is done. Enabling the flashback on primary and those things done. We need to do this network setup also. We can do it. Okay, network setup I can do it later, but let me configure these parameters, important parameters on the primary side. That we call it as a redo transport configuration on the primary side. Okay, redo transport. Let me make understandable word here. Actual steps or this one you can take. Redo transport on the primary side. This also we can take. These are all helpful for transferring your redo logs from primary to standby server. So we can set this file server STBY and the client is from 19C. If you want to keep this parameter yes or no, that's fine. If you want to keep it, that's fine. There is no issue at all. But only server is important. Why we need to make this server? Standby server is the file server. Fetch archive log. Okay. If any archive gap, okay. If any archive gap is there, like let me give you this scenario. File underscore server, we given the standby. Why? Because we are configuring that parameter on the primary side. This is our primary and this is our standby. Archives are shipping through the Oracle net. That network we are going to configure in next couple of minutes. That TNS names.vara, listener.vara. These two parameter files where we are these two other configuration are network files. Through this network, communication will happen. What kind of communication it is? Whatever the current transaction generated on this primary site, okay? Transactions means everything, any DLR, DDLR, whatever the transactions, those are going to generate redo, okay? Redo. This redo will directly, LNS will be there here, primary site, log network service, that will read the redo logs from your redo log buffer and it is going to send through this network to RFS process will be there. RFS, remote file server or remote fetch service or something you can say. This what it does is LNS will fetch the redo logs, current redo logs, whatever it is generated, take it and it will forward it to RFS. RFS will ready to take it and then it is going to store into your standby redo logs. This redo logs, okay? These redo log files it is going to store. From here, if it is a physical standby where we are going to physical standby database, MRP process is going to one of the background process which will read the archives from here to apply on your standby server. But it is a logical standby. Your logical standby will not apply the redos, that will apply SQLs will apply. So that is a different topic. I don't want to mix up the topic here because we are going to configure in the physical standby, not the logical. Leave about the logical part. So in physical standby, LNS process, even though in logical also LNS is common, RFS is common, the redo log, standby redo logs are common. Only the background process are different. That's it. Leave it that part. Whatever the current transaction generated on the primary side, LNS will fetch it and transfer to RFS. RFS will write in a redo log standby, SRL, standby redo log files. And from there, MRP, if you enable the MRP process will apply those redos to standby, physical standby. In that way, both are in sync. Each and every transaction is synced with your physical standby. And when this false server will place means LNS is unable to read all the transactions, what will happen? We have log writer to write our transactions into redo log groups, right? Redo log files. Who will write redo log files from redo log buffer to here? Log writer. Log writer will write all the transactions compared to your LNS process. Log writer is more active. Okay, more active. And it will write all the transactions to your redo log files. This file underscore server RFS process unable to read it, mean LNS is not able to read it from the buffer, it will read it from the redo log files as well. Still, LNS is unable to catch up the huge generated logs. We have enabled the archive log, right? Primary side archive log mode we enabled. What is mean by this archive log? Backup of your redo log files is archive log. Archiver is the background process. It will write these current transactions from here to here. Log writer will write. From here to archiver process will read it and it will write it in archive log files. Okay. Archive. This is also transactions for backup purpose. LNS is unable to fetch couple of archives or RFS is identified some gap is there. The sequence is not matching. At that time, it will look for the server. Okay. What is from standby side? We will make rprod is the server. Here, rprod is the server. It will look for the server. Who is my server? So my server is rprod. So it is going to connect to through this network where this server name we can define in our TNS names.vara. And it is going to connect with your archives. Whatever the gap is there, it will fetch from that archive log files and then fill up that archive gap. So if any gap is found, RFS will try to connect with this false server. Why we need to mention this standby in false server in primary side? If this is become a standby, this is a primary, at that time this is a server, right? So these processes will change. RFS will come here, LNS will be here. Okay. Give me a second. We can. So it will be reversed. So if standby become a primary, LNS process comes to here, RFS will switch to here. Reverse. That's it. Okay. That's where we are going to make it the standby as a false server. Okay. False server means fetch archive log. If any gap is there, that RFS process will look for that server and then it is going to connect and then it will fulfill that gap. Done. These two parameters we need to set up. And what else? Log archive destination 1 we can keep it, but as of now our destination 2 is standby server. So we are going to configure this. Destination 1 we can configure later also. It's not mandatory thing. This is one thing. Why we need to keep, okay? Destination 2 is nothing but whatever the archives generated in the primary side, those need to transfer to your standby side. This log archive destination will do that part, and we need to enable this service. Okay, if it is defer, enable or defer will be there. Defer. Okay, defer means archives will not ship. Enable. Then the archives will be shipped from primary to standby side. And it is important. What is mean by this? This is the data guard configuration thing. So this is the original configuration. It concludes data guard configuration on the primary side. Okay. These are all the important steps where we need to look. The destination one, other things also we can do it. That we can do it as part of uh, other activities. As of now, those are not required. Let me copy these steps. Yeah, that's all from this primary side. Now we can switch to standby side and then we can do couple of standby side related steps. This DB file name convert and log file name converts, we can do it later also. It's not required now. Okay. Check this parameter DB create online thing where our show parameter DB underscore create, sorry, show parameter DB underscore create. So this DB underscore create file destination is not mentioned. It should have the location where is your files. Okay, Oracle, Data files and all. Those we need to mention it. Let me check that part. That step we can, we'll see after bounce and whether it is going to reflect or not, we'll see it. If not, we are going to set up that part. Okay, that's primary side steps. Okay, primary side that's done. Now we need to do on standby side. If you want to do these steps on standby side, we can hold it because we need to do the network configuration. Okay, now we can do the network configuration here. Let me write it here. Network configuration on primary and standby servers. Let me do this network configuration both the sides. It means TNS names dot vara and listener dot vara files. We need to configure both the sides. Okay. Exit from this console and here session we have go to network admin location. Okay, here from this location we need to configure the TNS names dot vara file and listener dot vara file. Give this listener dot vara file, create it, edit. On primary side, we are going to configure, right? Let me go ahead and take the primary side listener thing. This one, copy paste it. If you want to do it from your end, you can make a copy. So this is my host name. Even here, you can keep the host instead of this. You can give IP address also if any network issues. And this is my global database name and this is my SID name. Let me go ahead and then make it some space. Okay. Go up. Yep. And here also, this is not required as part of your DZ MGRL enable. We can use this, but keep it safer side and then make this we can utilize later also. This is our listener file. Next one, primary side, I need to configure the TNS entries. Okay. Let me configure the TNS names.vara file on the primary side. Let me take it. Anything you can copy it and then we can adjust here and there. That will conclude this TNS names.vara file as well. Let me take the same thing. I don't want to make it here and there, those things. Okay. Paste it. Here, the primary is the first one, rprod, and the standby is the standby server one. We don't need to keep this part. Here it is. It is here, primary. Okay. Primary. And rprod is the thing. Standby AD base. This, if you want to keep it, else that's fine. This is our service, okay? Fall underscore server and what else? Fall underscore server and fall underscore client. That RFS process will read the service name, okay? STBY and these things. Then only it will connect to the database and it is going to fetch those things. Okay, this is our location, base location where our, all the diagnostics, what are data related things will be there. Let me give you the snaps so that you can use this TNS names.vara file and primary site, then listener.vara file and primary site. Okay. Done on the primary. Same thing you can do it on the standby side also. Okay, standby side also. Standby side only the network parameter we are doing. Other configurations we are not going to touch it. Go to, I don't think so, it is not set app Oracle product 19C home network admin location PWD, clear it. In this location, we are going to configure the listener and TNS names.vara. Okay, let me configure the TNS name.vara, edit, and we can copy paste this. Listener underscore, this is SID what we want to mean. We are here we need to give STBY. This is my listener thing. rprod is there. This we can make it down and STBY we can make it up. That's it. Nothing much. This we can make it down here and remove these how many lines? 3, 6, 7, 8 lines. Let me remove it. Done. So here we need to place in this order. This is our primary server related thing and this is our standby thing. That's it. Save. Make it listener file. Okay, let me copy the listener also. And standby side. Edit. Press I button. It will be edit mode. Standby side listener. I'm going to use this. Listener by standby. Listener STBY, that's the TNS one. It will be concluded here. Cross check both the listeners whether we have kept properly or not. SID listeners. Okay, rprod, this thing, SID thing, that's okay. Here. Somewhat I can see difference in between that listener and this one, right? Let me make it properly. Both should be, see here, listener file is there, this one. Let me add that here. And in this SID is STBY. Okay, change that. STBY is my SID. This is for DGMGRL enable. STBY my SID thing. SID also STBY. If you want to keep the same SID, you can keep it. But we are going to use this SID STBY. Okay, even though that global database name it is going to show you that you can use STBY. Here primary. Okay, server is STANDBY standby. That's it. This is a listener file where we want to use it. Yeah, nothing much. STANDBY.local domain. Correct. Okay. Now, how many lines I need to delete? 3, 6, 7, 10, 13, 14, 15 lines. Okay, one more left. Okay, this is our listener for our. What is this? Okay. Let me cross check one more time. Listener 1, 2, this one. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Cat TNS names. Take a snapshot of the standby side as well, how we configure the standby side listener. and TNS names. Standby side TNS, standby side listener. Let it be standby side listener. Done. Okay. Now we need to test the connectivity. So if you want to test it, you can start the listener LSNRCTL. So environment is not set, right? So let me use this environment. Okay. If you want to make it vi dot bash underscore profile will be okay. This is arg profile which I used. That's okay. Dot bash underscore profile. Let me create one more profile like this. Dot bash underscore profile. We don't need to keep all these things. Okay. All these things is not required. Let me delete this. Temporary directory, all these things is not required. That's okay, even though if we can keep it multiple things, that's okay, leave it. Let me delete this also. Path we already exported. Library things, class path, so much. Only you can keep Oracle database home and SID, or else you can use Oracle home and SID. Those two parameters is more than enough. All these alias, shortcuts, all those things is not required, and path is required. That's it. Let me change this SID. What is our SID? We used STBY. Okay, STBY. Remaining things normal, nothing much. We don't need to change anything. Keep it. Compile the bash underscore profile. Done. Now check echo dollar Oracle underscore SID and home. Home is this. Cross check whether this home is correct or not. Perfect. So this is the environment setup. Okay, bash profile you are going to set it up. I'll give you this thing is fine. Let me take the snap. Okay, now we need to start the listeners. Test the LIST. Test the connectivity. Okay, test the connectivity. Take the snap. Start the listener LSNRCTL. Start. Yes, STBY started. No, that's it. Now, primary side, we need to start the listener, right? LSNRCTL. I don't think, yeah, that's fine. Status, not started listener. Start, listener started. Then, now ping the service, STBY. It is pinging. Means from primary server to standby server, I'm able to ping it. rprod is my primary server one. It is also pinging. Same, you can test it from the standby end. It is pingable. There is no issue. Then STBY. So network connection, I mean, testing is done. So this is the network test. Network is pinging properly. Standby side and the primary side also both are okay. No issues. TNS ping the standby, TNS ping of the prod, both are pingable, both the end. It concludes our network setup. Okay. Network setup is done, and firewall also we have stopped. Parameters, redo transport, and remaining standby file management auto other things is done, and we need to do the what else, password file management exclusive we need to set. That's already there in primary side. SQL plus show parameter, this one remote login password should be exclusive. That is already there, we no need to set up. Okay, that is already there. Done. Only thing we need to create a password file. Okay, p file, and the password file we need to copy from here to standby side. Okay, let me take a quick bounce of this primary, and then we can shut immediate DIT, and then I'll restart the primary server. And let it shut down, and then we can do it. We have shut down and then restarted the server, primary server. Also, I have changed this thing. Instead of U01 backup location, FRA location I have given properly. That is only one thing and nothing much. Okay, now we can proceed further steps. Okay, let me go show you this thing. Where is this step one? Okay, so these things is not required as of now. Leave it. Then password file and SP file. These things we need to do on primary side. Let me create a P file from the SP file. First, we need to check, right, which parameter we are using. Parameter, parameter, SP file. So it's using SP file. Now I'm going to create P file from SP file. What is going to do is it is going to create a P file in this location that we can use it for our DR. Let me show you. And the P file init r prod. Let me. This is our P file which is created just before. Okay. This one we can copy to primary site. Sorry, standby site, from primary to standby. Let me take a snap. Okay. Now let me add it here. Create P file on primary and copy to standby server. Done. Let me do this copy. Exit from here and go to 2 steps forward. And here we have our P file and SP file, I mean password file. This is our password file. SCP, this one too, where we need to copy Oracle STNDY standby. Same, the location where we are using is same location, and standby side also. This is not at the rate, it should be colon. Okay, it should be a colon. First time when you're trying to copy from one server to another server, that will ask you and OS password. Okay, done. Same way you can copy your P file to standby side. Okay, same location, same location. Enter the password. Done. So P file and password file of the primary we have copied to the standby server. Why? Because P file we can use the same parameters. We need to modify DB unique name one thing, and SID we can change it. Copy password and P file to standby, STAND by server. Okay, done. Now I'll check this file on standby side. Connect to the standby side. PWD DBS location. Check now. Yes. Password file of the primary one we have received here. So we need to rename to standby name STBY. And this also we can rename it. Okay. VI. Let me move it and then we can rename it. What is our SID of the standby? STBY. Okay, done. Now you can check. Same primary one we are using on standby side, but I have renamed it. This we need to do. And then I need to modify this parameter file. Okay, let me take this snap, and then we need to create a directory structure, right? As it is, we already shown as part of that standby configuration. So let me, yeah, FRA location here I already created. Okay, here edit the standby parameter and rename the password file on standby side. Done. Once this is done, we need to modify the parameter file that is pending. Let me modify. What are all the values we need to change? Okay, edit it. These things is not required. Okay, we can delete almost 12 lines. Delete. This is also delete. Okay, this one you can same keep it the same, the database name with audit thing, right? We need to create a directory of this one. Okay, mkdir -p. This one done. We have created this directory on standby. Create required directories on stand standby. Okay, spellings and all we can make it later. That's so required. Give you RIED. Okay, okay, done. And let me go to standby server here. This one, okay, you don't need to modify control files, right? This is we can change it to our standby thing. Okay, we are using rprod location. Here we can use stby. Insert stby. This also we can use stby. Okay, stby. And DB unique name. Database name is same, rprod. There is no change in. And the destination, this already we have. See here, client. What is the client here? stby. And what is the server? rprod. DC configuration here, what we need to do is, here we need to make it stby first name first and give rprod is the second. See here, this DG configure, this one we need to do rprod and the DB nickname is rprod. On primary side, we are given stby. These two parameters, and yes, here you can add, where is our database name here, right? You can add DB unique name. Let me take a DB unique name here. Okay, connect to SQL plus show parameter DB underscore UNIQUE. This rprod, no, we can identify this. Let me DB unique name equal to single quote STBY is our DB unique name. There, rprod is our DB unique name. That is the only thing which we need to make it in this file. Services, dispatches, everything's okay. That's not an issue. Yes, that's it. STBY. Save this parameter. Let me take a snap and then you can save it. We can save it later. Okay. And the directory structure should be there. Okay, properly. The directory structure, whatever the directories we are having here, this is already there. This you can check whether we have this directory or not. Even if you want to use the same thing, you can use the same rprod. This one we don't have. Okay, let me check. Rprod is there. We don't have this directory. We need to create it. mkdir -p stby. Okay, keep the same thing. stby. Let me use rprod. Let it be. What I'm thinking is, if you could keep the same thing in standby also, required directories we need to create. That is one thing. Okay. Here also you can use rprod. That's up to us how we are going to manage. If it is a different structure or same name, you can use it. There is no need we have to use this name only. Okay. As it is, whatever the primary side directories you have used, you can use same thing. Okay. Let me do one thing. Escape. Let me use rprod only. I know no need to change it. Leave it. Rprod. Here also I'll keep it rprod. Rprod. Check this directory I have created. There is no much these things. Let me go ahead and check. Yes, it is. No files is there. Okay. Keep it the same thing. There is no like standard rule, hardcode rule. You have to keep this and that. Only thing we need to keep this unique name is separately. Okay. Uniquely identified number. Okay. Name. And the server should be rprod. That's it. Save it. Done. So this is our parameter file where we are going to start our standby server. SQL plus startup no mount. Or else we'll do one thing. Create sp file from p file. Okay, because here we are using p file. So I have created the sp file. Now you can check whether we have that sp file is this one. Okay, now we can start our database with this sp file in no mount. Startup no mount. That will read when you are using this one, it will read this sp file on standby side. Okay, once it is startup in no mount, we can what is this? Permissions denied. Okay, chmod. What is the permission for this? Okay, we'll do ch. Let me go ahead and then here, because we have created these directory structures from the root level, right? So we haven't changed it. Chown. Okay, chown. Now that is cool one. Yep. Now we can try startup. That is the thing where we need to look, like if you are creating what is happening, error control file, right? So shut close this one, because we don't have a control file here where it is going to read the control file, right? I'll comment that part. Okay, I'll comment that part and then we can use that in p file. Comment the control file. We need to start in no mount. Why I'm going to use this startup. We don't have anything, only the parameter files which we are using. Unnecessarily thing, right? That's okay. Okay, clear. Startup no mount, not in open. If you are trying to start up, no, it is trying to read the control file and other things. Okay, this is only one thing which we need to do. Only this thing. No need to do any other things. Startup no mount. Startup no one, because we don't have any database, we don't have any control file, we don't have any redo log files and standby side. We are just starting up with the basic parameters which is required, or which are required as part of the standby. Okay, which are required as part of the standby. Yeah, that's all. So standby side, these much steps which we need to do. That's done. Now we need to connect. This you can do it from primary or you can do it from the standby. Both ways you can do it. Okay. Now I am doing from the primary side. Okay. Now exit from here. Arm target. Provide the target sys password. Okay. And then we need to provide the auxiliary sys password here. Auxiliary sys password. Done. So I have provided my sys password for this. rprod is for my primary, auxiliary is standby. So from this target database rprod to standby database is going to create by using the service name. This is service name and this is the service name. So I have connected. From the primary I did. Even if you want to do it from the standby, you can do that. There is no hardcore rule like you need to connect it from here. Okay. Connect to rman to build standby. I have connected from the primary server. Okay, I have connected from the primary server. Now we need to initiate the standby build, physical standby build command. Okay, by using this duplicate target database for standby, this already we have set it up. We don't need to use those commands. We just use this copy. Okay. Duplicate target database for standby from active database. Do recover. Let me check this part. Let me try, because this we already set it up the parameters, so we don't need to go with all these things. Let me execute this step, and if we are seeing any different thing, let's see. So this is going to create the control files and it is going to build the, see here, it is going to build the standby. First, it is going to do the standby control file thing. Okay, restoring the data files backup. Everything it is going to build and conflict with the file used by the target database. That's a warnings. That's okay. Conflicts with the file used by the target database. Arman warnings. Let it go and it is going to restore it. Once it is done, yeah, it is finished. So it has been built the standby thing. Okay, let me take this command and we can take even this log also we can take it. That's okay. Even just follow this step. That's it. Nothing much. Okay, I'll enter the command here, which I used here. This one, text format. You can utilize it. What happened? Done. That is okay. Next, what we need to do is this part is done. Standby side is completed. So if you want to do this alter commands and all, it is not required now. Only thing is we need to do standby side. We need to create a SP file from the P file. Mostly it is going to use the SP file only because before we are going to start this SP file level. Okay. Now enable the standby side flashback. We need to on the flashback on the standby side. Connect to standby server. Okay. SQL plus alter database flashback on. This we need to do it and check the status of the standby side. It is completed. No, we need to check the status. I'll show you the status of the standby server. Okay, let me take a command where it is. This one will show you whether it is created the physical standby or not. You can see physical standby created in mount state. What we need to do now? We need to shut down. Okay, we need to shut down immediate and start up, and then we need to restart in mount mode. It is already mounted. No, we need to just shut immediate and then start up mount. Stand by side we are doing. Once that is done, okay, once that is done, what we need to do is we are going to enable the MRP. If you are not enable the MRP, that SQLs or whatever the generated archives from the primary, it is not going to apply on the standby side. So these two commands, if you are executing once, it will execute it one by one. This is on standby side. Done. We have standby side. Stand STAND by side. Enable the flashback. Shut down the database and start up in mount. Then start the MRP. This is the task. These are the tasks which we need to perform on the standby DB server. Now we have shut down and started up. It is in physical standby in mount mode. Try to enable the MRP. If you are using this command, it will start your MRP. I will show you before starting this. This command will show you whether your MRP is, MRP, are you able to see MRP process here? No, right? If you do this, this will start your MRP process. Okay. This will do the MRP process. And then we can use this same command so that we can able to see the MRP process is started or not. Yes. Now execute the same command. Now we can see this MRP process is started. It means whatever the archives are generated on the primary side here, we can do one thing, exit from this prompt. I'll take this snap also. Let me put it in this way. Let me put it this in where it is. Whenever we have stopped this armament right here. Done. That is the primary side. Let it be. And what I am trying to do is this one here, MRP, we need to take a snap right here. Let me connect it to primary side. Control C, SQL plus as sysdba. This is a primary DB. Just we want to check whether it is a primary or standby DB. By using this command, we can able to clearly see that primary or standby thing. See, it's a primary. Okay, on primary, check how many archives has been generated. Let me take the command. Okay, let me take the command. Same command you can use and primary also. It will give you LNS process. Standby which process will take care of RFS process. Okay, LNS will send the archives from primary to standby. Standby said RFS will take care, receive those archives, and MRP process will apply to your standby. So all processes are exited. It is there, exist. Okay, now see how much archives are applied. Is there any gap is there? This will give you the how many archives generated and how many applied sequence wise. Let me alter system switch switch. Okay, switch log log file, alter system switch log file. 1 2 3. I have switched archive logs 3. Now we can check how many archives are here. It is showing LNS waiting for 10, right? Let it be. Let me check this. See here, LNS waiting for 13. The same we can check the command here. See 13. If you are going to apply one more lock switch, let it be. Now it is 14. It should come 14 here, right? This means your archives are shrinking, okay, from primary to standby side. If you want to put your standby database in read-only mode also, you can do that, okay. Archives are shrinking from primary to standby side. We clearly saw that. So I just want to take these two snapshots so that we have concluded like our primary and the standby are in sync. So this is what I want to show you how to configure. Okay, how to configure physical standby from scratch. I have shown you from the scratch. I have configured the primary server. I have configured the standby server and everything. Okay, these commands I'm going to give you. You can just execute on primary and standby archives applied or not and all. Okay, this will help you on this part. Okay, this concludes our physical standby creation part also. If it is useful, you can subscribe my channel as well, like it's Racsinfotech. I'm posting this video in this channel. Also, you can follow my blog, Anjani Apps GBA. There you can able to get the text format. Okay. If it is useful, like the video and share and subscribe the channel. Thank you. Hope it is useful for you guys. Thank you. Bye.